Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, hi, my name is Allie, and today I am reading Stephen Graham Jones. And no, it is not Buffalo Hunter Hunter. I'm getting to it. I swear it's in my October TBR, I will get to it. You'd think that I would be reading the one that I put in my 25 and 2025, but today I'm going to be reading Killer on the Road and The Babysitter Lives. This is a new bound edition of these two novella stories from Stephen Graham Jones that they put together in such a cool way of having to flip the entire book to then start the next one. I absolutely love it. These two are standalone novellas from Stephen Graham Jones that, like I said, they just put together. We are about to leave for the day and go see James's family, and I am taking a shit ton of stuff with me. My tripod, my smaller camera that I like taking photos with, and I'm going to try my best to do a little photo shoot, maybe like on a back road for Killer on the Road, maybe get a good bookstagram picture. That is the plan for today, but I'm also going to be continuing my read because I have already started it. I'm quite a few ways in, but I thought for now I would just leave you at the intro with literally the first chapter, which is called Chapter 0. Really sucks you in with just jarring imagery, and it's a gore fest. 18-year-old Harper has decided to run away from home after having another blowout argument with her mother. However, her two best friends, little sister and ex-boyfriend, all stop her from hitchhiking her way up Route 80 in Wyoming by joining her on an intervention disguised as a road trip. What they don't realize is that Harper has been marked by a very unique serial killer who's been trawling the highway for the past 3 years, and now the killer is after all of them in this fast-paced and deadly chase where the interstate becomes a graveyard. I'm having such an amazing time with this, and though the goriness is reminding me of a good Stephen Graham Jones slasher, at the same time, like, I'm actually shocked by how different his novella style is versus his full-length novels that are somewhat more meaningful and thought out as far as like having some type of hidden message or deep root message that, you know, punches you in the gut by the end. And maybe that will be the case for this, but so far it's just kind of been a fast-paced, suspenseful horror novella that has just been so much fun, and I'm really enjoying it. I will say, I think that there is still that message here for having our forefront characters being Native American sisters, and tying that in like he normally does with his books. I still love to see that. But yeah, there's not as many references or not as many messages that goes along with it, like his typical books. Obviously, her running away from home, we're going to dabble in that, and like being a young woman and trying to figure out life and feeling lost and honestly like hopeless and feeling like you're not wanted. So I definitely think that's going to come into play a lot more in like my last quarter of this book.
Push away, I'm a really close friends. Kicking to the curb, no sentimental, what up? If you come by my house, could it really hurt us? Till the lights on my laptop burn up. You know I said I heard you, you know I said I heard you. If I heard you wrong, you could put it on me. If I heard you wrong, you could put it on me. Got no baggage, I'm okay. No FaceTime for this face. It's a 45-minute drive from the west side back to my place. I'm stuck on 4 or 5, like 4 or 5. But a lot of time is just think. Got a lot of shit on my plate. Gotta get my head on straight.
So as you can see, I am now at my desk / vanity in my bedroom. It's been a minute since I've checked in on this video. I had a pretty busy weekend. After Saturday, all day Sunday, I just didn't feel like getting ready. I stayed in my pajamas all day, but I stayed busy. I cleaned and tidied our whole room, including my closet. James helped me bring up my makeup dresser, so all of my makeup can be upstairs. I still have to get all of my eyeshadow palettes from downstairs because I have them stored in a different area. No moon. But I never use my office space downstairs as an actual office. I kind of just use it as a studio for my podcast and stuff. I'm so sorry if my cat knocks you over. So yeah, the idea is to use my office space more up here and also utilize more of my makeup that just sits downstairs because I'm too lazy to go down there and switch products out every day. That's the goal, but my room is coming along and I'm excited to just work more downstairs on the studio space, have different backdrops for Hella Spooky and my podcasts and all of that. But today is Tuesday. I didn't read any Stephen Graham Jones yesterday because I have 2 to 3 different videos going right now. So I did work on my other book, but I wanted to check in because Sunday I did finish Killer on the Road. I did read a little bit last night. I just started The Babysitter Lives. So let's talk about Killer on the Road, but first I'm going to take my son to school really quick and then I'll be back. I got a little bit busy with work and other things, and then I was able to take a break for a little bit and read some, and then I completely forgot that I started this morning, so I'm back. Let's talk about Killer on the Road. This is such a fun time. I know I gave you guys the synopsis already, but yeah, this follows Harper, who's decided to run away. I know I've explained all of this, but it just gets more and more weird as she is trying to leave and she's telling her sister she has to go back home, but it ends up being this fast-paced, suspenseful thriller horror that's so gory and gruesome. It's such a fun time, but at the same time, it's so sad and devastating. Stephen Graham Jones is cutthroat with his stories and characters, and it's very prominent with the story. This is, to me, which in the acknowledgments, he does shout out Stephen King because he felt like this one came out at a time where he thought it might get a little bit of backlash of being maybe it was a ripoff of The Outsider, although this was written a long time ago as well. For me, it's Jeepers Creepers meets The Outsider. It's no longer just a horror road trip story. It is a cat and mouse chase. There is something coming after them, and it's, oh my gosh, probably the grossest and goriest and bloodiest read of Stephen Graham Jones that I've ever read. I had an amazing time with it, and I'm landing at 5 stars. And I was completely right. I had mentioned how it felt a little bit different than the typical Stephen Graham Jones as far as him always coming in with some type of meaningful and emotional message in the heart of the story. And it's not as sprinkled into either one of these so far. But that last at least half to a quarter of the book, it was there, and I really appreciate it. What I really appreciate, now kind of going into The Babysitter Lives as well as Killer on the Road, I wanted to take a minute to talk about the bind up of this because I find it really cool and interesting. But once Killer on the Road really got to the, message the more heartfelt, meaningful message within it. I just wanted to point out that both of these follow young Indigenous women who are very proud to be Indigenous women. And I loved reading their stories. I loved being with them. And I had such a good time with them. Obviously, I'm still reading The Babysitter Lives. But Harper's story, although they are much younger, both of them are much younger than me, it's no longer I can really relate with where they're at in life. I love hearing about their lives. I love that Stephen Graham Jones always has such a amazing way of putting the culture and the messages of appropriation and what we should take away from that. For me being, just educating myself more on it, but also the more I get to learn about their culture and the different characters and everything that they face and how they feel about their lives and their families and ancestors and all of that, are just always so much fun to read about and to learn about. I really like those touches in both of these. I feel like it's actually been a little bit stronger in The Babysitter Lives so far because we have a character who is having to intertwine and mingle a little bit more with a family who are very out of touch with the way a human in general should be treated, but also with what is appropriate. And I guess that's what you get with just a closed-minded, hateful person. But having that type of character in a story like this really helps bring those issues and the things that are still ongoing to the forefront to educate and to show what's wrong and what's right and give you a glimpse of what Indigenous and people of color literally go through in their everyday lives. Killer on the Road, we of course have an amazing acknowledgement section. And there's one at the end of Babysitter Lives too, I can't wait to get to. But Stephen Graham Jones, the heart of him is just such a storyteller, and his acknowledgements are always that special treat of getting a glimpse more into his life, and we get to hear stories about his family or different things that he's went through or has done and what inspired him to write the books that he writes. And we did get that for the acknowledgments of The Killer on the Road. And then we also, for the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition, it says, "Here's when I was just starting Killer on the Road, trying to figure it out, and the initial noodling for what would become The Babysitter Lives." And it's pretty much the first draft of the idea of the story for Killer on the Road. And it was super interesting to be able to get that and to see how it started. And then I started the very first Babysitter noodling, and then I stopped because I was like, you know what? I'm going to read The Babysitter Lives, and then I'm going to read the acknowledgments and then jump into this because I don't want anything spoiled for me. But just really cool, nice touch to this bind up edition. I really liked. What I will also say is that these two stories are not your typical Stephen Graham Jones. Writing, absolutely. It's incredible. Characters, absolutely. But I have found myself being whoa, this is really fast paced. A lot of the time I find his to be a little bit more slow burn style, where this is really fun and fast paced. Not to say his other ones aren't, because they're incredible. Obviously, I'm a fan. But these two, I can see why they're bind together. They're such different stories. I still have 100 pages of The Babysitter Lives, so I'm not finished yet. But they're such different stories than his regulars that I can see where these two stand kind of, together. And although they're completely different, they both have this horror sci-fi element that is just so much fun. I feel with horror sci-fi, you never know where it's going to go, and it can just keep twisting and end up being something that you never imagined it could be. And I'm finding that throughout these stories, that I'm just where is this going? Oh my gosh, what could he possibly add next? And it's honestly just kept amazing me. Like, I've had such a fun time with these. It's really hard to put them down too, because you just get so invested in what's going on. Like I said, Killer on the Road is reminding me of like Jeepers Creepers meets The Outsider by Stephen King, and The Babysitter Lives is giving like almost like We Used to Live Here, that book, that vibes, but with something else. I would say maybe like Haunting of Hill House or like Bly Manor, like the Mike Flanagan movies, where it's kind of like a haunted place with like children that are like unreliable, kind of creepy. I gotta make this quick because my cats. Yeah, those vibes. This starts off with Charlotte, who is coming to babysit for this family. The mother is one of those like she's overdoing it. Like, you gotta do this and you gotta do this just right and you gotta do this, and you know, and then the dad comes into the picture and he's one of those like kind of already judging her for who she is and being like, don't go into my study, don't do this, and you know, giving creepy vibes. And he continues to just be a sick person throughout the book. But with these characters, we really are showing, you know, an average interaction of what the Charlotte goes through and how she kind of just has to bite her tongue and just smile and be like, you know, I got it, you know, I'm gonna take care of your kids, you know. And we get these kind of like flashbacks of Charlotte in one of her last babysitting where her girlfriend came over. I love that we're getting like this LGBTQIA plus community like representation. She invites her girlfriend over, and while they're together, the little boy sleepwalks outside and the mother finds him. And so it's kind of one of those things where it was like, oh my God, it could have been so bad. Like, I learned my lesson. So this time around with these 2 6-year-old twins, she is like on top of things and it's just like, I can't do anything wrong. I have to make sure I stay on top of everything. And the little girl seems very sweet and innocent, but she meets a little boy and he is in nothing but his underwear, winding up this creepy Jack-in-the-Box until like, you know, like the clown pops out. So already creepy vibes, and then it just spirals from there and it's continued to just, I don't even know. I'm like, what is this house? What are these kids? Like, what's going on? We're getting like past history, which I always love. Like, there's something deeper and darker about this house because of something in the past that's happened. And I love those type of stories that I'm eating it up as well. It's just been such a ride so far. Honestly, I can't believe I still have 100 pages to go because so much has happened. These stories do feel a little long, but not in a bad way. To me, anyways, in my opinion. I feel like they're being dragged out, but like, it's been like really fun. And I love that the stories just keep going because I don't know, this guy's like imagination, his brain of putting these stories and plots together is wild to me. I sense that these are going to be some of my favorites from Stephen Graham Jones. I'm loving them that much. But I'm gonna leave you guys there because I have to get back to work soon and I am wanting to binge some more of this before I do. And I am going to take this to parent pickup with me later when I get Axel. So hopefully by some point today, I'll be able to finish it. Definitely I'm going to also fit in some journaling. Kind of have a little bit of a casual day, but yeah, I thought I would check in, let you guys know how I was feeling and some of my thoughts I've been having since picking up this book. It's been so great.
By the way, it's all the ways. If you couldn't tell, nothing but the look on my face. Making pictures don't belong to DMs. I've been trying to find out who the fuck I am. Pull me in, need a really tight pants. Push away all my really close friends. Kick into the curb, no sentimental, what up? If you come by my house, could it really hurt us?
Good morning. This is how I look this morning. I tried to put myself together a little bit and it is what it is. I didn't go to bed till like 1 o'clock in the morning and I've been up since like 7. I'm so tired, but I have a little bit of time this morning, so I thought I would show you the progress I've made. I meant to film this last night, but like the lighting was so bad. I like put a face mask on because I don't even know if I mentioned it in this video, but like I've been on my period. It's my time of the month. It is so rough. My face is like breaking out, and putting makeup on every single day doesn't help. So I took everything off last night, put a mask on, and did a bunch of journaling. I did like other pages and stuff that I needed to catch up on, but I also started my Killer on the Road page, which is so cool, with the photos I took. I am no artist when it comes to like drawing. I can paint, but I cannot draw for the life of me. So it is what it is, but this is just like my fun little memory book, so I don't care what they look like. But I have to finish my Babysitter Lives side, and I have to write in my reviews for them. So I thought I would check in with you guys to like start wrapping up this video, because I have finished both books. I do have one more section I have to read, which is after the acknowledgements, the very first babysitter noodling. So I am gonna do that. I'm sorry that the sun flares are like, maybe it's gonna be like a moment to help hide this. But I do want to get to that before I wrap the video completely, because I kind of want to see where like his headspace was at, like, or the thought process of writing this book and all of that. So I'm gonna do that, but I thought I would kind of multitask, go back and forth while I am also doing this, so I can show you guys my spread before I end this video. Also, PSL on deck.
And if I heard you wrong, you could put it on me. If I heard you wrong, you could put it on me. And if I heard you wrong, you could put it on me. If I heard you wrong, you could put it on me.
Hopefully this new area is not too boring for you guys, because I feel like I'm probably going to be doing a lot of check-ins here. I'm just so excited to have my desk set up, done, and like all the vibes. I'm loving it so much. And it's just so nice to have this window right here where it's like not like the best lighting because you can't see everything behind me, but like we're making do with it. This is my workspace, so sometimes I'm gonna be here. Okay, first of all, I got my journaling done. I absolutely love how the pages, my journal is getting so thick. I love how the pages turned out so much. Really sticking to the red, yellow, and like that teal blue. But yeah, my new routine is journaling every morning because there's a lot of pages that I'm having to play catch up on from the summer, and I'm enjoying it though. It's like my form of therapy. I love it so much. So that is done. The book is read. Also, I managed to get at least a little bit on my phone of the bedroom. It's not perfect. It's still a work in progress. One thing that I've noticed so far with having my office space in here is that I'm staying pretty productive, but like it is really hard to like churn and see my comfy bed. So I'm trying to get into the daily habit of making my bed, which I've always just been horrible at. I go through spells where I do really good at making it, but a lot of the time just like I can't be bothered. Like I'm just gonna fall into it tonight. I change my sheets and my bedding every week, but like making my bed every day, doesn't happen. So I'm trying now, because when I turn around and I see it made, and I even have like all the blankets folded, my pillows on, I even have like my little tray with my candle and book and stuff, like it just looks all nice and put together, so it keeps me from like wanting to crawl back into bed because I'm so tired. Again, running on no sleep. So I think that habit will really help kick the fatigue every day of just wanting to crawl back in bed. Besides that, I'm trying to figure stuff out with like the lighting, because I tried journaling last night and it was really dark. James gave me this lamp. You guys can't see it, but it's really cool. It's kind of like Beauty and the Beast, like bell jar type of ordeal. And it has one of those bulbs that like I can change like the lighting and stuff. So I'm gonna see if that helps. Side table situation in our bedroom I still have to work on, but right now I just can't be bothered. I love the way it's looking right now, and I kind of like having my little TBR shelf as kind of like my side table. My lamp just does not fit on it, so it's in the floor. But I got all my shelves dusted. I need to still add decor to the walls. I have some like old paintings that I want to do some of those like ghost paintings and different things like that with, that I may do this month in another vlog, for my wall by like my TBR shelf, because it's just empty. It needs something. I can't really put anything else on that wall over there because the cats will just knock it down. I'm honestly surprised they haven't knocked down one of my shelves yet that I have up on my wall. I dusted my perfume little beauty area, and I put like pictures of my kids when they were babies. It's like their newborn photos. Very sentimental. And yeah, over the weekend I recovered this chair. You might see in the video it's kind of crooked, but this was my great-grandpa's chair, and I've had it for years. It used to be like cream and white, and so I spray painted it. I took it apart, I spray painted it. I thought it would fix it, taking it apart and then like putting the screws back in and maybe like straightened up a little bit, but it's still like pretty wobbly and crooked, but it's another sentimental piece. I did do the recovering on it, just this like black velvet to match the black velvet that I'm currently recovering my reading chair with. The reading chair is not done, so you guys probably seen that in the clip. I ran out of fabric again, so I have to go pick up more to cover all of the cushions and to finish it out. But yeah, that's the update on the room. So excited that I was able to get that much done over the weekend and to be able to show you guys in this vlog. But I'm super stoked. I did bring my printer in here. It's not the prettiest under the desk, but it's a space for it and I use it constantly, so whatevs. I absolutely love it. With that, let's wrap up The Babysitter Lives. This book is quite confusing. I took longer with this one than I did with the other, which Killer on the Road is much longer than, at least by like 40, 50 pages, I want to say. The Babysitter Lives is a lot shorter. I think it's just right at like 200 pages, but I found myself rereading parts over and over and over again. The hard part is I can't really say much more about it without being spoilery for you guys. But what I will say is I stick by, if you have read We Used to Live Here, which is a newer, like this was written way before that. But if you have read that one, because it was super hyped last year, and I know a lot of people probably did pick it up or at least heard about it and knows kind of the gist of it. That is this meets The Haunting of Hill House, Mike Flanagan's Netflix series, like based off of Shirley Jackson's The Haunting of Hill House, but that Haunting of Hill House is completely different from what it is inspired by. Both are great. I actually prefer Mike Flanagan's over Shirley Jackson's novel, but I'd be a little biased because I love Mike Flanagan and that is my favorite series from him to date. Like, it is his best in my opinion. It's also time for a rewatch. I watch it every year. Saying that doesn't really spoil anything because it's really just the vibes. This story is completely different than the other two, but definitely has those type of vibes or certain things that pop up in the story that I'm just like, oh my gosh, like this book, or like The Haunting of Hill House miniseries. But what's funny is that in the acknowledgements, I literally said yesterday while I was reading this that it gave me that vibe of like Bly Manor or The Haunting of Hill House. And I say all of this because before that, I had mentioned how the killer on the road reminded me of The Outsider and Jeepers Creepers, and he literally mentioned The Outsider in the acknowledgements. Well, same thing happened. In the acknowledgements of The Babysitter Lives, he says, well, he gives thanks to like The Haunting of Hill House, Hell House, Burnt Offerings, The House Next Door, The Shining, Solaris, different books that have the haunted house vibes that he appreciates and what inspired him to write his own. But he also said, thanks too to Mike Flanagan for not doing the Haunting of Hill House series until I'd written this. Not sure I would have had that already been in the world. It's that good, yes. Which I just thought was so cool because I'm just like, yes, exactly. Like that is the vibe I got too. But yeah, this did come out before both We Used to Live Here and the mini-series of The Haunting of Hill House. But I think it's really cool that that's where my mind went with it. And I was so spot on because even the author himself was like, yes, they're very, not similar, but like the vibes are there. It is some of the first other projects that you're going to think of when you think of this, when you're reading it. Charlotte, our main character, is just a very questionable character to follow as far as like decisions making, but I think keeping in mind that this is an 18-year-old girl who's had this past traumatic babysitting experience and wanting to go with her gut and do what's right for herself and to take care of these kids, like these kids are her top priority. It makes everything kind of make a little bit more sense. But when I tell you, I'm once again blown away by the mind of Stephen Graham Jones with how much he put into this plot. This isn't just like a quick thought out story. It's 200 pages of just like, every time you turn the page, you're just like, what's going to happen next? Like, what could he possibly add? And it kind of goes back into what I was saying about horror sci-fi, where like, you just have to expect the unexpected. Like, so much is going to happen, and sometimes it's easy to explain why, but sometimes it's just like, what? And I felt that a lot with this. I did have like a really, like I said, a hard time not being confused in some moments because I'm just like, what is even going on? But there was so many also like just creepy elements of this, and the whole backstory on the house and the people who used to live there was just the haunted house touches that like I really liked and needed for this. But I will say the type of sci-fi subplot that he went with, that I don't want to say because it is spoilery, is not typically one of my favorites, but I really liked how it came together in this story. Especially thinking of it as a novella and not a full-length novel. I have seen where some people have said that they wish that these were like 50-page shorter each, and I agree that they are longer. Like, they seem a lot longer than what they actually are, but at the same time, I really enjoyed it. I liked everything that he brought to the table with it. Like what he did with all of those extra pages that, like, I wouldn't want these to be shorter. I'm landing at another 5-star. These are both 5 stars for me. Wild. And with that, highly recommend some of my new favorite Stephen Graham Jones. And I am so excited to get to the Buffalo Hunter Hunter. I have it on my TBR shelf. And some more of his backlist that I still haven't gotten to because these literally just blew me away and I need to discover more from him. You will have to let me know if you've picked these up yet. Did you read them like back when he first published them? And have you picked this one up and read like the bonus content? Because it's really cool, like seeing his like first like rough drafts of the idea that he had with, and then being able to read it and see like where he decided to change things or go in a different direction was really cool. Yeah, let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching another video or tuning in. I hope you stay and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.